Back with you on SportsCenter. Tom Brady and Deshaun Watson, they got some FaceTime in joint practices this week. Whether the two are going to meet in week 3 when it actually counts is the predicament that's facing Texans head coach Bill O'Brien, which, let's be real, is still better than his dilemma in seasons past of picking the lesser of two evils. Mike Reese and Sarah Barshop have more. Playoffs are right around the corner. How has that impacted the garage at Hendrick Motorsports?
Yeah, for us and our Napa team, we're just trying to...
What does being first in points among the winless drivers tell you about the season that you've put together so far?
Well, it tells me we need to get to victory lane.
Happened on Monday because the last time we had a solar eclipse like this, I was in elementary school, so I know you weren't born because you're 21 years old. Are you doing anything special to watch that solar eclipse on Monday, Chase?
Yeah, we're...
I was going to say, I think that sounds really cool when my biggest plans are to just try to make one of those viewfinders in a shoebox and stand on my porch and just look up into the sky. So good luck on Saturday, and make sure to tweet those pictures. We'll all be looking for them on Monday should you get up in the air. And thanks for joining us here on SportsCenter. Chase Elliott ahead of the big race match.
About to go down like that.
He's the absolute best. So we mentioned those NFL preseason games. As we said, Paul Gutierrez, we're going to show you on the map. We'll get you set for the Rams. Stephanie Fusaro, of course, is in Dallas. And Diana Rossini holds things down for us from Nashville ahead of, as I said, those Panthers and the Titans. And in fact, I believe that's where we're going to start this afternoon. Diana Rossini joins us live from Nashville. Shout out to Arrested Development. The Steelers in action against the Falcons tonight, but that's really secondary because while the coaches will focus on what's happening on the field, we'll find out how a MIA player is affecting the locker room. 50 years after the Cleveland Summit, Jim Brown joined SportsCenter to talk with Eves about how it all came together and whether we might see today's athletes take a similar course of action. Stay with us here on SportsCenter. When two of the best fighters in combat sports agreed to square off, we knew that there was bound to be some trash talking and boasting and bouts of bravado. But instead, we were introduced to a slew of racial slurs, bigotry, and other harsh vernacular, really unbecoming of two of fighting's biggest stars. And while anticipation for the fight is at an all-time high, the question has to be asked, why do these hateful and hurtful words need to be part of this fight? LZ Granderson make a mistake and he'd have to carry that, but his dad taped the football to his arm. This is kind of like the Little League World Series version. So this is an inflatable kangaroo, apparently.
Oh my.
And hold on, I just have an opportunity to draw. Okay, well, nope, that's a spotlight. How do you draw?
I think you press the pen or the pencil.
Look at that.
Pen.
So this is the inflatable thing. Apparently this came out of nowhere. UFC 214, right? It was dubbed a redemption versus retribution match. You had John Jones back in the octagon after a year-long suspension for using a banned substance, and then Daniel Cormier looking to best the only fighter that he'd ever lost to. So after Jones wins this match, UFC president Dana White calling Jones' performance unbelievable, and ironically echoing the same sentiment yesterday after the story broke that his star fighter tested positive for steroids before that July 29th fight.
Getting close.
I totally agree with you on that one, Coach. Listen, there's not anyone that's in threat of that in this matchup today. I'm just saying. But specifically on the Saints, I mentioned some of the offensive weapons that aren't going to be played. They're not the issue on the Saints, and they almost never are. What are you going to be looking for on the defensive side of the ball from the Saints tonight?
Well,
especially when you've got the streaking Tampa Bay Bucks, who seem to be getting every year, and then the Falcons at this point, who sit at the top of the division. Let's look over on the other side to the Chargers. Can you give me a player that maybe you're watching for tonight that you hope is going to have a big season for the Chargers?
Well,
it certainly isn't. It's interesting too because for those of you that don't, Keenan Allen hasn't really played in almost 2 years because of injury. He was asked what he thought his name meant before those injuries, and he said, a dog, a beast, a monster. He said, what do you think it means now? He says, I have no clue. It's been a while since they've seen me, so I'm not really sure. So he certainly has something to prove as well. Herm Edwards, thanks for joining us to talk about what you're looking forward to in the Chargers and Saints preview. And thanks for hanging out with us all day.
Game day, my man, Reese Davis. Good to have you here, brother.
Great to be here, guys.
The AP Top 25 preseason poll coming out today at noon. So I want to ask you, who are some teams that are likely to be highly ranked that you got some questions about?
There are a couple.
Team that you don't think is going to fall into the top 10 today in this poll, but that you think could be in playoff contention.
Stanford.
Okay.
Because I think the Pac-12 is going to be really strong, and Stanford actually starts a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Game day is going to start out the season in Atlanta. Make sure that you take advantage of the fact Chick-fil-A will be open on Saturday, if not on Sunday, so you can enjoy that.
I'll just have to stock up extra by then, won't we?
You'll just have to carry it up.
I don't even have to bring you any back anymore since we have them
We
here in
have one
Connecticut.
here now, Reese.
Beautiful thing.
9 drives, which includes no turnovers, and I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but he's been playing against third and fourth string guys. He will have his first real test against starters on Saturday, but this is surprising simply because all the reports were that because he was a vet, Brock Osweiler was in the lead to get this job.
Yeah, but no. I'm Team Kaiser in this situation.
Yeah.
Kaiser, too. I kind of want to see him with the ones out there for a duration of a quarter, maybe potentially leaking into the second quarter. Let's see what he can do.
He's going to be battle tested, but listen, it's Osweiler.
Our front office insider, Bobby Marks, joining us now. Bobby, you need to straighten out this crew this morning. And let's get
all along had really been Cleveland's target because the Celtics offered Cleveland an ability to get some players in the short term to try to.
With the catch of the year.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and say it. It was definitely the catch of the year so far.
So far.
So far.
I think we're done.
Yeah, we're going to be here tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
But right now, making a little way for First Take.